What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. It's Sunday Fun Day. I hope y'all are having a lot of fun this Sunday. I'm hoping y'all are over here to talk about and discuss this ridiculousness that is Love and Marriage Huntsville. Just for a couple few minutes. I don't feel like I'm gonna be here very long because wasn't a whole lot going on over here. Now, we all like to say nobody forced us to go over here, nobody making us do this. We just doing this on, because we love this and we love communicating and talking with you guys. But come on. Y'all need to figure something out. Like, I know that there are some I mean, when I look at Nell and Fletch, aside from I kind of don't really care about the uh, mess that goes on their marriage because they've been married for 30 years. And when somebody's been married that long, did I say like the video? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Go ahead while we're getting into this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Go ahead and like the video and hit that subscribe button so we can know that I'm over here and show me your support. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, Nell, it's like you have to take pause every time you speak about these people. Their names are so similar. Nell and Fletch have been married for 30 years, and I feel like anybody that's been married for 30 years, they got a lot of mess. We don't have to drudge that up, but they do seem to have successful businesses, even though I'm hearing some things about Fletch and his license is being pulled, and I haven't looked into the details kind of because I don't really care that much. But I hope he gets that straightened out because for me, that doesn't make me feel happy to know that Fletch has some issues with his license. What we like over here is that these people are able to acquire businesses and be successful. Okay. They have had a 30-year marriage, and I don't care what y'all are saying, 30 years is a lot of mess. So they still doing it. Let's don't focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that they have this family over here. Let's get into a little bit of the kids. Now we got Lance over here, but there's more. I would like to see more of Chris on the show. If Chris is over here and he's a new father, I feel like he may also need a check. Y'all said whatever her name, Lacey. I don't know y'all's kids' names. But you guys said that she holds her own. So these ones that are over here needing to borrow money, set them up for a check. And if they're going to be out here in these streets acting a fool, well, then they pay the consequences for their celebrity. But I feel like there's something to be worked with over here with Nell and Fletch besides just he cheated. Everybody on here cheated. Everybody with a penis on here cheated. Or as part of a cheatation. So let's get off of that. Y'all and these side chicks, and I could give a hot shit what happened in Vegas or any other place that Marceau and Martell and Maurice were hanging out. It seems like whatever they're doing is gonna be nasty. There's gonna be chairs being bent over, there's gonna be side chicks and linebackers. There's going to be NDA signed, and there's going to be Martell over there watching it all go down. So I don't really care like what these guys are doing in their private time. Let's get on to something real. Oh, Destiny, I like that green dress. And I usually don't like what Destiny has on. Destiny, you should follow this direction. Whatever you got going on right here. I mean, they probably photoshopped you a little, but listen, if I come over here and take a picture, you better Photoshop me into something nice. But green is my favorite color. So I like that, Destiny. Anyway, I'm just trying to revamp the way they're doing things because right now it doesn't make sense. The Fletchers can stay. There's something to work with. We're familiar with them. Miss Nell is a little cuckoo. But they have businesses and things. We want to see, I don't want to see people with pretend businesses meeting up in storage units and, fake houses that they own and any of the other stuff. Kimmy and Maurice, unfortunately for Kimmy, she's got a Maurice. And after, taking a little teeny look inside what they got going on, I would prefer they just keep letting us see Kimmy in office spaces having discussions. And I don't care what Maurice be doing. Ken and Trisha, we can't with them. Like y'all are lying liars who lie, and that never goes well. Tisha and Marcel, like, you've been here for a long time, and now you're trying to sell us some new bullshit. So when people saying y'all aren't being transparent is because what y'all be selling is bullshit. And if we're gonna keep coming over here, because after this episode, I'm questioning whether I'll be back. And I've questioned before. I mean, I was like, Mel is gone. I'm glad Mel is gone to do whatever other things she got going on. I feel like she'll be a success at it, whatever it is. She's proved, she's proved herself to, know how to maneuver through things. So Mel will be doing whatever Mel does. Destiny can damn go. Marcel and Tisha can stay, but with pause. Kimmy and Maurice can go. I'm sorry. We just like I said, all we need is I'm gonna revamp the whole thing. Keep the Fletchers. We gonna keep Tisha and Marcel. With the very least, Marcel is entertaining, and yeah, so we'll keep Tisha and Marcel. Kimmy can stay as like a friend of. Maurice can be somewhere doing whatever he wants to do with his penis, because that seems to be the only thing he knows. What I ain't even gonna say he know what he's doing, but he does use it a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. Trisha and Ken, get out of here. We don't care. If you're not gonna be entertaining with Marquez, then we don't need it, because y'all need him in order to make sense or make entertainment anyway. And he is too much. So much that Ken had to put his actual hands on the man. So now Marquez, you can't come back because you don't know when to stop. Destiny can go because I already told you why. That's it. That's all. We have to look for some other affluent people in Huntsville. That seems to be up and coming. Yeah, one thing they do is they stay promoting some businesses around there. They do get around to different things, and I do like that part. I like that they show you, like, Huntsville is not this little country town y'all think it is. It's a small town, but they've got things to do over there. And if you're looking to settle your family somewhere, I would not be taking my black ass to Alabama. But I'm just saying, some of y'all want to go over there, and they got a lot going on. So I think that Huntsville has other affluent people in business that may or may not want to be a part of this show. As soon as this show figures out what it wants to be, because I think the identity has somehow been lost. There's no for whatever they call themselves. All of that stuff, the foundation that they built this show on is cracked. And so it don't have to be over, but you darn sure have to figure something else out. Y'all production always be trying to create mess, and the mess be stupid. People's life don't always have mess. You move through things. And so y'all need to learn how to navigate that. They won't, but I feel like I'm here talking about it. So this is a suggestion maybe on how to make the show better, because I feel like nobody cares. Unless you're talking about Mel. So we knew that. Too bad for y'all. Y'all don't have no eaters, meters, or nothing. Millimeters is an army of people that support that lady. And the whole time she was over there on her TikTok, spraying her ridiculous ex-husband and his slow girlfriend, fiance. We don't know what to call this lady. Not wife. It don't matter. It really doesn't matter. Ariane's life will not change if that man marries her. Everybody's like, she calling him a fiance. She calling him, he won't make her a wife. No, he won't. Or maybe he will. We don't know. What he's doing is husband things. He put the lady in the house where he, thought he was going to do something with, what he probably should have done is put the lady in the house. That part is not a bad thing. They're walking around Huntsville acting like it's such a problem that Martell is putting this lady in the house. But his wife has been gone for 5 years. What he needs to do is stop focusing on that lady and focus on the one that he's putting in the house. Ariane. Y'all say her name every every scene. Her name is brought up. If you're going to do that, then bring her ass over here. Might as well. Anyway, let's talk about the show. Martell and Chris. They meet up at Fred's house, and for whatever reason, Martell is over here pretending like he's measuring things. Now, what's his name? Flush said he he came to the house and he was supposed to be selling it, and then somebody else was selling it. And one thing I want to say is, Martell, you have the audacity to not give. Well, I don't know. When you're trying to sell the house, then you let whoever can sell it, I suppose. Now, Fletch, after this man was, what do you call it when they won't leave the house? Squatting. He was squatting in a house that got you in trouble with that, whoever owned the house. Disrespected you, wouldn't leave. I'm paying the money. I'll leave when I'm ready. So he literally stood in the way of you selling this house. I wouldn't want to do business with him either side. I don't want to be a realtor. I don't want to find you anything. I think the best thing for us to do if we're going to be friends is to let you go ahead and do that with whoever you're going to do it to. But, here they are. He comes in the house. Telly. Who the hell is Telly? Why are you do y'all be calling your homeboys little nicknames like that? Is that old school, the way you used to, talk to youngins? Telly. It was giving a little, how you doing? Don't do that, Fletcher. Just call this nigga Tell. I mean, if Martell is too hard, because I understand, Fletcher, all of these people around here have an M name. So I get you trying to switch it up, but Telly, don't call him that. It's a little weird. Anyway, why is what's his name? Martell. Why is Martell walking around this house taking measurements for that little bitty ass house? We went on the friggin' tour when you had the house staged, so you see what size furniture fits in there. You said you were staging it. You didn't take the measurements back then, or did the person that was doing the open house actually stage it? Because I believe that's what you said he did. So why don't you just run over to Rooms to Go or Kane's Furniture or something and put, $1,500, $2,500. Go ahead and splurge on your girl. Treat her like, special, because she's your girl. So go ahead and get her the high-end spot thing over there at Rooms to Go. You can do it one thing at a time. She can bring her bed to the bedroom, one room at a time. You go ahead and trick out that house for Ariane. Because that's what the hell you should do. She's been hanging around for 10 years. What we don't need is a measurement, child. We know what to fit. You furnished it before. Give me a break. You sitting there, you wasn't even measuring taping right. Martell is always over here on somebody's property. You were over here when it was dirt, when you was acting like you and Fred was doing something together. I guess Fred did his part. He was like, once this joker is built, then it's all on you to figure out. You don't need a builder's license, I guess, to sell it or own it or whatever y'all did over there, you and Fred. I guess Fred is out. I don't blame Fred. Know how to work with Martell. I'm going to do this part. You can stand here in this thing and pretend like you have a license to do any of this. Maybe validate the things that you out here lying about you doing. They swear they ain't lying. That's what he's probably saying right now. I am not a liar. Good grief. Trying to keep my blood pressure down dealing with these two. When Martell told Fletch he was moving Ariana in the house, he was acting all confused. Like, now you're acting like Ken. No, he's actually not acting like Ken. Ken bought a house for a woman with a husband. Ariane waited on a husband that was somebody else's husband, but now he's free and they have a whole child, and at the very least he could do for this girl is furnish this little bitty ass house for her. It's just perfect for her. Why would he be paying apartment when he has this house that nobody wants? That should have been his process in the first place. You are going to have to go ahead and settle down. Ariane is your woman. That's what it is. He don't want to be at the apartment. He's a celebrity. He shouldn't have to be at the apartment because the people are going to be in the streets talking about he was at the apartment. So they be clocking. You know what you're doing. Over here, he can be in a house and a little less like, on Front Street when he's doing whatever he's doing. But yeah, he's putting her in the house, Fletch. For goodness sakes. Then he don't have to work. She don't work, so he don't have to pay daycare. This is actually a smart business decision. Marriage is a business. So maybe Ariane and Martell need to figure out the business, because the business person that he's no longer married to is much better business than he is. And I'm sure he did learn some things over, the course of being married to Mel, but he's not smart. So, it be in his head and not in his head at the same time. Plus the fact, I feel like he can have more control over her. If she's in the house and everything is paid for, like she's in an apartment, he cannot pay the rent, but she can just figure that out. But if she's in his house, he can make her get out. This is my house. Oh, he's that type of guy. She's, as much as she deserves a house, she better be, making other, plans, just a backup plan for something. She won't. She thinks this is making her closer to marriage. What is making her closer to is a psychopath. And all the stuff that we see him doing to Mel, she will at some point experience. I think it starts about the time she moved her family, her children into his house. Because trust and believe it's his. His name only. That means it ain't yours. So when he get mad, you can either do what he says, like the things he likes you to do. As soon as you ain't cooking, cleaning, ironing, entertaining, and maybe giving blowjobs. Is he still getting blowjobs every day, Ariane? I'm just wondering. Ciao. Anyway, I feel like, there's two sides to that coin, but she's the one in the relationship. She's not going to, go nowhere. So if she's going to be with him, she might as well be doing it from a house instead of an apartment. I mean, I feel like, when you talk about your kids going to school and all of that kind of stuff, hell, that's her man, her man, her man. Chris brought up Lance, and he tells Martell that y'all thought these kids out here, I told y'all to wrap it up. I've been telling y'all to wrap it up. And I was like, you've been telling Martell to wrap it up for his wife? Or you were telling Martell to wrap it up so when he goes over to Ariane's crib, he'll get himself caught up. But he wasn't doing that. And so when he was getting advice from older men, like we've always been saying, Chris, sounds like you were that older man that was over here teaching him how to cheat better. I've been telling this married man he need to go ahead and wrap it up. What advice would that be for a married man? Chris, Telly. These people are who you call your counselors. He could have got that advice from anybody. The guy, the cashier down to the 7-Eleven. Chris said Martell and Marcel sounded like two bitches over there arguing back and forth. And I'm like, yes, because niggas are bitches. And they be acting like they're all, and let me handle it, and I want to be the leader, and look at them. Bitches. Arguing back and forth about who's lied on who. Both of y'all. For goodness sakes. I feel like Martell comes over here every week just to tell us that he's not a liar. This is why we don't really want to watch, because nobody wants to keep coming over here hearing this. So y'all better find somebody other than Martell to be the entertainment, because he's out here in these streets telling people that this is his show. Hey, Shayna. Shayna, I know you watch this. I know you watch this, and I feel like you're just as disappointed. It's a struggle. It's a struggle to get through these reviews because y'all are making shit up. I could literally come over here and make shit up on my own. I really don't need them to do it for me. It was very boring. I fell asleep. Girl, I fell asleep and didn't realize that I didn't see the whole thing until I started taking notes. Y'all make sure you run by over at Shayna_NCD, because she's very entertaining in her reviews and things. We cover a lot of the same things, and we cover, some different things, but go ahead and join the conversation, because we both want to, engage with y'all. Child, these two hot ass mess. So Ken is sitting up here whining to Will about his relationship. And Will, there's several different times where Will's expression was like, if I have to hear about this shit one more time, I swear to God, I'm never going to hang out with you again. For goodness sakes. Every time we see him sit down, he's explaining to his friend Will how exhausted he is with this relationship that he has found himself in. And Will is like, listen, I like Trisha. I think she's probably very nice, but every time I talk to you, we are here with you complaining about the same damn thing. Somebody help Will. Did he dress himself? I heard him say, maybe it's his ex. Don't go to Destiny for no fashion advice, child, because she'll have you looking worse off than you already look. Will is the one person on this show I would like to keep around, single or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like married people have single friends, so you shouldn't be not allowed to be here unless, you're married. I think Will is probably the best addition. You know what I'm saying? He'd probably wouldn't hang out with these guys because they are bitches, just as Fletch. Anyway. Ken says he has a podcast, and his podcast is a bunch of dudes working out. And I'm like, is that a podcast? I thought, because I don't call what I do no podcast. I'm just over here on YouTube talking about my favorite shows with y'all, because it's some of y'all shows you watch too. I feel like a podcast, just because you got a couch and a microphone, does not make you a podcast. It's a place you go for interesting conversation. When I first started listening to podcasts, don't judge me, but I was over there with Joe Budden and Ari and whoever, Joe Budden and the two homies before they fell out. Not the homies he got now, but back in the day. Mal and, they would sit around talking about hip hop and entertainment. And I feel like their jobs they had made for very interesting conversation because these are things that they experienced because they had jobs in the entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think like a podcast was some dudes working out in their garage. Y'all call everything a podcast. Y'all got a YouTube channel. Some dudes working out in the garage. Say what it is. Ken, the king of all good guys. Ciao. What's up? T is in the house. It's football season, y'all. So seeing T is probably going to be like a rare sighting. Like, I don't know. She be's here though, and she hates this show. That means she's just here because she loves me. I love that. Anyway, I love you too, T. I should probably be watching football, but I'm going to watch it just after I'm done here. So Ken is all of a sudden having a problem with all the stuff he's been dealing with Trish for the last 3-4 years. We don't know how many exactly because they like to scooch the years around as far as how long they've known each other. But yeah, he's tired of it. And I guess the problem was like the last straw was he was doing a podcast with some dudes in the gym working out. And she walked through and didn't give him a kiss on the way out. That was the last straw. He can't handle it. He said he's processed his next steps and without her in it. If y'all are going to do this thing over here, Ken and Trisha, I would suggest y'all don't show up in an argument on Instagram or wherever y'all was discussing how we are in your business while y'all are working out together. And I don't know if that was to antagonize us or to antagonize little Marquez. Now he's here for the shit. So now here we are watching this fake ass scene of you pretending like you just can't handle it anymore because, little Trisha's got issues and needs to seek help. Really. I think he's not wrong, but I think he needs some help to be seeked out as well. It's really like corny. Plus, it's out here in these streets that the people said, the divorce priest said that he can't live in the house with her. So I'm guessing all of this build up, y'all be over here. If you gonna tell a lie, y'all gotta ride the lie all the way out. What'd you say, T? Right. It's like in the middle of their podcast. She says she can't just walk through. It's in the middle of their podcast. So, she just walked on through. If you wouldn't have hollered out across the room, hey, you're just going to leave without giving me a kiss, if you had kept your big mouth shut, we wouldn't have known anything about this last straw that broke y'all's relationship. And she needs therapy. All the things that he's been dealing with all this time is all. What did he say? He said something crazy. He said she doesn't realize if he leaves, then some of this shit just got to go back. And I was like, what's going back? Are y'all at Rent-A-Center or something? I don't understand. What do you have to take back? That just proves to me that y'all wasn't trying to be doing nothing permanent. You was playing anyway. It was so bad. It was the worst stage breakup that Shayna has ever seen. It was bad because I was like, what do you mean the things got to go back? And then, I guess he's an Indian giver, child. Like I said, the court said these people can't live under the same roof with that minor child. And that's why you don't, go ahead and do things without finishing divorces and things. While you over here telling this man, this is your family. This is my family. And I'm the man around here. And Marquez went down to the courthouse and says, this man who I don't know is living in the house with my daughter. And he's violent. I went over there to drop her off. And this man slapped the shit out of me right in front of my children. Did that happen? Because that's what happened. But here we are with this stupid sob story. Because the court said if that's what's going on over there, nobody gets to live with anybody. So your tea is out in these streets. Now, I like you, Will. And I'm glad they brought you over here. But this is a problem for me. We are the owner of the Wicked Gentleman's Barbershop. Where are those braids coming from? I'm so confused. Is it a mohawk braids or what is going on with this hair? This is a man who owns a barbershop? Is it just me or does he little bit look like Theo Huxtable? Am I the only one seeing that? In this picture, I'm getting Theo Huxtable with a bad haircut and 2 braids in the top, and he owns a barbershop. I wouldn't go over there. Who did your edge up? Why is his hairline so tight together? I feel like it should scooch it over just a little bit. Oh my God. Anyway, my man is a barber. These things bother me. Yes. So Marquez, the divorce is final. That's what I'm hearing. And that's part of the divorce agreement. He cannot live under the same roof with that minor child. Neither one. I mean, that's the same thing that Mel and Martell have. That's why he got to, move Ariane over there in that house, but they can't live in the same house. So he has to keep his house and put her in a different house. His hairline, yeah. He's a big old joker, but that hairline is terrible. You got to scooch over where your eyebrows are. Like there's math involved in your hair, in your face. You know what I'm saying? So where your eyebrows are, not all the way to the end necessarily, but just a bit in the middle, his hairline is supposed to match up. It does not. It's scooted all the way in. And he's supposed to be, he didn't say he was a barber, but if you went to your shop and got that haircut, it's disturbing. Anyway, yes, that's a lot of people's agreement that you can't live in the house with the minor children unless you're married. So, and I mean, I guess that alleviates, people having different women and men coming through with the children, like Kimmy was over there doing. That's what they said. My bad. Kimmy wasn't even in this episode. And Mel and Martell have the same agreement. But anyway, y'all are bugging. I mean, y'all been bugging, but you really bugging. So Marceau and Macy, I'm not going to really spend too much time here. What we're not going to do is rewrite history. And now all of a sudden, Marceau is this great father who goes get nails done with his daughter, who has a very sassy attitude and really, do too much to make him seem like he's a great dad. So I'm good on no more of this. The girl, we seen her a couple few times, and get back to the show. Cute commercial break. What's next? Um, this boring group of girls. So Trisha and her friend, I can't remember her name because I don't write it down because she's not over there in the cast. So is she auditioning? I mean, I guess Trisha needs friends like her real life friends. Her real life friends hold a little bit too much of her business, if you ask me. Like, you're not gonna be up in the conversation bringing up my relationship stuff, girl. Destiny showed up. She showed up with nobody's gift. If you ain't got the gift, first of all, this is a grown ass woman. Destiny, you couldn't even like pull one of those candle big D energy things out of your trunk. You don't have some of your little merch around. You could have brought her over one of those candles. You're stupid. At least when you see Marcel always has a shirt on that says black. Every scene you catch Marcel, oh God, please help me for the next 5 minutes. Every time you see Marceau, he got a black t-shirt on. Destiny, you can't tell me that you didn't have one of your candle little gift sets. And you should always have one in your car. You should always have on hand, run past your little storage unit, store boutique that you have over there. Grab a few of those bags. Keep that stuff in the trunk in case you run into someone and you need to promote yourself. This would have been a perfect opportunity. We don't need to know about you and the little girl. You could have brought Trish some doggone perfume and candles and things. Whack ass. You over here talking about how you're in a movie and you want to be independent film. Girl, it must be real independently. We don't know. People be out here trying to help you and you just won't listen. I feel like every single time I need a check. I come over here whenever I see Destiny, I be always talking about your products and things. Here you could have brought this girl a gift and nope. We want to talk about how you need her to train you to box for your independent film, girl. And I really checked out a lot of this conversation because I don't want to hear no relationship advice from Destiny. She over there dating two young boys that are god brothers who be having surprise babies and things. And then she's got her other man that was locked up. Destiny is not the best at, her husband left her after 3 weeks. It's a lot with Destiny. She's so logical in the advice department. She got a podcast too. Have anybody seen her podcast? Since when? If you don't have no couch, because I know you like to, go short on things. Call your storage unit a boutique. If your podcast don't have a couch and a microphone, girl, maybe a co-host. He's a producer. The person, man, they can lie and then sit up there and say, I don't lie. To everybody that says I don't lie is the biggest liar in the room. She has a producer on her podcast that we have not seen that is doing an independent film that, girl, she's just been so busy and she's a mom. Give Destiny the Woman of the Year award, for goodness sake. Trisha's friend, she brings up Ken, which I thought was like maybe production told her to do that, or she's assisting Trisha in serving us this bullshit. She's stammering and stammering. She can't get out. I don't know what she was saying. Well, I was sitting. Girl, the hell did you just say? Her friend says she be doing that when she lying. Oh, friend. She said her and Ken had to break up. And Destiny said, now this was funny. Destiny said her storytelling is ambitious and fictional. It's ambitious because she can't get it out her mouth. It be stuck in her head. And when she try to tell her story, it's stuck. Anyway. Yeah, we know Trisha and Ken have been through a lot. And when she did not kiss him when he walked out that door, it sent him over the edge. And she said he told her that give him all the stuff back then that he gave her. And I was like, if it's one thing a Scorpio man gonna do is try to take his shit back. They be trying to use the gifts as leverage. I mean, it might be a Capricorn man thing too, because I hate it for Ariane. Her friend reminds you of Woodbine in Detroit. I really like her better than Woodbine. I'm not a fan of Woodbine. I don't dislike this lady, but I get where you're going with that. If you watch The Love of Marriage Detroit, what's the name? Colby is pregnant again, y'all. We don't know if it's a boy. I guess they'll be, saving that for the baby reveal. I'm not mad at it, Colby. This time, market the pregnancy better. They got one little Colby and one little Russell. Anyway, we in Huntsville. Ciao. I says, Kim was up here acting like these kids are happy over here because I'm a great step-in father and they're not traumatized or anything. And now you over here screaming at her mama. They was sitting up in here saying how Ken is, what did they call him? Aggressive. That's what she said. She said he's aggressive when he fight. That's interesting because you gotta be careful how you use that word aggressive. Is it because he's a big guy? Is it because he be beating on his chest and stuff, being scary? Or, what was it he was doing over there being aggressive? I don't know, but he said them kids weren't traumatized. And then he put his hands on them kids' daddy right in front of them. And then their daddy went to the courthouse and things. Now he got to pack up and send the shit back to Aaron's rents to own. Who has little man syndrome, Ken or Marquez? They both a mess. They're both a hot mess in different ways. But Ken is like, And then she be piping up too. That's probably scary. She's little. Ken was up there a couple weeks ago talking about everything's absolutely perfect except for Marquez is here. As soon as he comes around, things go left. Next thing you know, this lady tried to leave her house quietly, not to disturb your podcast, and everything fell apart. For goodness sakes. Hey, Elle said she popping in. She don't even watch the show. Is that it with these people in this? Yes. This girlfriends meetup. I don't want to come to this one. Their girlfriends meetups be whack. The meetup that we never wanted to see. I was really irritated when I seen this. I was like, why? Why is that what we're doing here? I feel like in real life, Martell is tired of having to be creative with how to film on the show. And as long as him and Marceau are at it, it's going to be hard because Marceau and Maurice are brothers. And, they'll manage to do events without him, especially if he's like over here doing what he's doing to Kimmy. Yeah, they act alike too. She said they look alike in this picture. They act alike too. Two lying lies to lie. They're just lying and different. Martell said he wants to end the disrespect, child, and he wants to go back to the good old days when they used to be in limos and, hang out, be friends together. Well, wonder why that's no longer a thing, Martell. I feel like it started with 20 girlfriends, Martell. He's one of those people that want to go like throw a bomb in the middle of the room and then say, hey, y'all, let's get along. We shouldn't even be having these types of conversations. They should let the beef go. I feel like that's what Marcel was saying. I feel like for the most part, you have sometimes you go too far. He went too far. So all them good old days when we used to be in the limos and stuff, those are not going to happen again. Now the challenge will be, is Tisha going to hang out with Ariane after she called her linebackers and stuff? Ariane created this divide with the wives that if he bring her over there, the only person she can film with is Destiny. That has to be, so exciting to watch. The kids can't be on the show. Her kid can be on the show, which I think is, it says a lot, and I think not in the way he thinks. Because if Ariane is over here like doing things and their kid is there, the little boy is there, and they're out publicly doing things, but then when they're with him and the other kids, they can't do that. The message is, we know what it is, but I don't know if the kids process it the same way, because what they're going to see is themselves absent from, the social media with their father. We need new couples. That's what I was saying earlier. So let me just put the picture up here so I can paint the picture. Because I don't know how many of y'all was here when I said it the first time. But I said we should keep the Fletchers, because the Fletchers got those kids, you know what I'm saying, that they can bring different nuances to the show. And I said we could keep Tisha and Marceau, because in some instances, Marceau is entertaining. I think Maurice can go and Kimmy can be a friend of the show. Anytime we need to have business meetings, we could go to her offices and promote her business that way. I don't need any Maurice in my life. Destiny can go. Ken and Trisha can go, but I like Will. So, maybe bring Will's situation in, or Will and Lance can form a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Because Chris Fletcher is older than them, way older than them, and nobody wants them mentoring them. But I feel like Lance and Will, can forge a friendship where we could keep few single people on. Let me know what you think. I'm doing the best I can, but Destiny, Maurice, and hell, bring Ariane, and then Martell can stay. So that's my take on it. You can let me know what you think. At the end of the day, these two decided, yeah, you don't talk about me and I won't talk about you. And maybe they'll just let us keep working here, because if we don't have a show. If every time there's an event, nobody want to keep arguing, watching these two talk about scope and stuff. We don't want any scope. So yeah, y'all just be in the room. Bring Ariane over here for we can watch her. I feel like that train wreck might be worth watching, because we've seen enough of it on Insta Live. That Ariane like to go live. And then her ratchet friends. We can turn it into something. We don't need to bring all her ratchet friends, but we need one, because she can't be over here by herself. And Destiny, you think Tisha would go with record with Ariane? I mean, maybe. It's just that, the man said he watched her go nasty in the back seat with one of his homies. I mean, will she forgive that? And then she went on Carlos King and said he used to be gay in college. I thought that was pretty stupid. I'm sorry. I hate that the insult is gay. Like, girl, he was watching your husband and his brother bring out some lady over a chair. All of them are gay. Because niggas be gay. They just don't want to admit it. Anyway. Yeah, they decide to agree to, let the thing be what it is. And where do we go from here in this darn show next week? Well, Destiny has a fake date with the god brother. They're not stupid. Like in real life, even if I'm not a Destiny fan, I, can't get into Destiny. But in real life, if Destiny and Will hung out and, it would make sense to me, because he's her type. Hopefully she would tell him, child, just cut the braids off and move your hairline over a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But Destiny and Will makes sense, because he's grown and he's her physical type. This security guard boy, I guess, if you want to go over here and be trying to flirt with the homie, it's weird. And it's nothing that I want to look at. Because she'll be able to confront her about everything. I mean, I feel like though she talking about Tisha and Ariane filming together. I feel like though Tisha is afraid of what she's gonna say because she also holds the same secrets as Martell. Now she can sit up there all she wants to and be like, "I don't see it. I haven't seen any receipts. Nobody's brought me anything ever." She can keep doing that if she wants to, but we know that affects her. She said it. It's infecting her marriage. And they over here trying to get, they're on their road to 2 decades. I mean, if that's the goal, that's the goal. Meanwhile, them kids is getting grown. You need to be focusing on, well, the little girl says she's a great mom. So, Marcel, that's what your daughter said. I hate that. I really hate that whole who do you like better, mom or dad thing. I don't know why people do that. Yeah, but Destiny on a date with the guy's son is whack. It's just as whack as it was when she was over there having dates with Lance. We don't want to see it. Ken and Trisha fake break up. So there's that. And Dr. Francis is back. Now, Dr. Francis brings the real shit. And based on what Trisha has gone through in her real life, this is something I think probably will be a transparent scene for us to get through. If she opened it up, you know what I'm saying? She's already told us about what happened. And in the meantime, she has her sister, her mother, and her father pass away. And she's married to Marquez, who's somewhere staring at the ceiling fan, hating his life. Child, she does have a lot. And then here comes Ken, who can, be very big and muscular and greased up and aggressive sometimes, according to her. So she does need to see Dr. Francis, and she needs to see him by herself, like she is, without any outside interference. So I'm looking forward to that. Bring us something, child. That's all I got. I feel like that was a lot considering it wasn't a whole lot going on over here. So what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday. It's ready to love conversation. And I got some things to say. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you when I see you.